What is up, guys? This is Saban Kenobi coming at you with another. We're continuing my platinums list. I just got my 40th platinum not too long ago, and I'm super proud of that one, which we'll get to eventually. My last video, I covered the first 10 platinums that I earned. I'm going through on, I made a list on listall.com. It's a great website if you want to keep track of some stuff, including your games collection, as well as you can make custom lists. And I just thought this would be a good way to keep track of all the platinums I've earned, because after about 4 or 5, I started forgetting. So my last video, I covered my first 10, so I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Because I've already covered all of these. We ended on Sly Cooper. So my next platinum is Sly Cooper 2, in case you couldn't figure that one out. And again, I'm just going through these percentages right here. This is the date I earned the platinum and what the percentage was at that time, or in this scenario with Sly Cooper 2, at the time I had a PS4 where they started keeping track of this kind of thing. So it may have changed since then, but anyway, that's what that is. And then I'm just going through and kind of naming the hardest trophy for me. Again, that is subjective. This is not the hardest trophy. It's just the one that was the hardest for me, or the most annoying. A lot of times that's what it is, especially with easier platinums like the Sly games. In which case, Sly 2, honestly, there was no hard trophy, so I just put that the platinum was the hardest because you just have to get all the other trophies. But yeah, it's crazy these Sly games have such high percentage rates of completion, but they are pretty fun. Ironically, I don't remember what it was, but the third Sly Cooper game just threw me off and I didn't get the platinum. But the next one, this is a guilty pleasure game, absolutely. I am the first to admit it. Is Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion XL, or extra large. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it. I don't think anyone cares, because I don't know anyone else who played this game, except for my friends that I made them play with me. I bought this game solely for Johnny Bravo right there. Any game I can play as Johnny Bravo, I'm in. If you don't know what Punch Time Explosion is, this is a Smash Brothers clone. There's nothing bashful about it. That is exactly what it is. They're not trying to hide it or anything like that. It just is. It's a Smash clone. And it's actually not a bad Smash clone. It's actually pretty fun. Especially if you like these games, these cartoon characters. So there was Dexter's Lab, Powerpuff Girls, Samurai Jack is in it, as well as, you can play as Mojo Jojo, which is a Powerpuff character. But anyway, it was pretty fun. Pretty easy platinum. I think 10% is just because a lot of little kids probably played this. But yeah, beating story mode on hard was probably the hardest trophy. And again, that wasn't that tough. But yeah, it was just a fun game. Next, I played Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. Ironically, not many people have this platinum. 4.4% is kind of low for a Lego game. Again, not a super hard platinum, just time consuming, I would say, because a lot of the Lego games are time consuming. They do crazy trophies where you have to collect a lot of collectibles. So again, completing the game on 100% is just time consuming, but it was a fun game. Next, Final Fantasy 13-2. So I acquired the platinum of Final Fantasy 13. Very time consuming platinum. Almost didn't go for it. My love for Final Fantasy outweighed my annoyance on that one. So getting Final Fantasy 13-2, I thought, okay, here we go again. And actually, this one wasn't nearly as hard. I think they knew that they put in too much grinding for the platinum in the first one, so they toned it down a bit. Really just completing every fragment category. There's a lot of time. If you didn't play Final Fantasy 13-2, honestly, as a Final Fantasy fan, you're not missing a whole lot. It is my least favorite of the 3 Final Fantasy 13 games, hands down, no contest. But it's just completing the game is really what's difficult. And getting every fragment category, it's a time thing. I'm not going to go into it. But yeah, Final Fantasy Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13, I guess is the official way to say this game. So this is Final Fantasy 13 3 is what everyone calls it. This is my favorite of the Final Fantasy 13 games. Final Fantasy 13, I know a lot of people didn't like it. I actually really liked it. 2 was kind of a disappointment. It's not a bad game, but it wasn't what I was looking for. And then Lightning Returns was an interesting switch. It's not a traditional Final Fantasy game, but it is a lot of fun. Hardest trophy was Proof of Victory over a Dragon Arrow Knight. That was a tough fight. Again, not a super hard platinum, but it was just funny. It's like 500 years after Final Fantasy 13-2, and nobody ages for whatever reason. There's a curse or something, I don't remember. But anyway, you have 13 days before the world is going to end, and you literally have an in-game clock, and you can cast spells to like freeze time and stuff like that and help you have enough time to complete all your objectives. But on my second playthrough, I thought, I have 13 days to complete everything, and certain things need to be done in the morning, and certain things need to be done at night. Maybe I can get it all done in one day. If I freeze time and all that, it's possible. But then you can't skip the other 12 days. You literally have to start the day, and then you can cast a spell to end the day. But you have to do that 12 times, so it was kind of stupid. Next, I played Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus. I believe this was the last Ratchet and Clank game to come out on PS3. Pretty fun, really a little shorter than usual. But pretty easy in terms of trophies. I don't think the trophy list was even that long. So, I mean, just going around collecting gold bolts like you always do was the hardest. And then after that, I got the Ratchet and Clank Trilogy. So again, this is not that I somehow got trophies on the PlayStation 2. It's that I played this on the PlayStation 3. If you buy the Ratchet and Clank collection for PS3, you get Ratchet and Clank 1, 2, and 3. So there's that. And I had actually not played the Ratchet and Clank games on the PS2, so this was new to me. Definitely the hardest trophy. I didn't even need to look it up. I could already tell you. It's that hoverboard challenge on Rilgar. You have to do it in 1:35. It's a pain in the butt. I hate it. Some people are like, it's really easy. I've never figured it out. It's really hard for me. So basically any Ratchet and Clank game where there's a hoverboard challenge trophy, that's going to be the hardest trophy for me. And it's funny because it is a gold, so it's not as easy as some people. I think they're just bragging. Next platinum would be Ratchet and Clank 2. Again, part of the Ratchet and Clank collection for PS3. That one was a little easier, I think. Just basically getting all the collectibles. I picked the 40 platinum bolts just to kind of show that is the hardest platinum. More people platinumed this one, as you can see, than they did the first one. So that just kind of proves my point that that stupid hoverboard challenge stops a lot of people. And then if you couldn't guess, the next one is Ratchet and Clank 3. Also easier to platinum. And again, it's just getting all the collectibles, getting all the weapons. Just kind of holds you back on the platinum. It's not a hard one. This is kind of turning out to be a lot of easy platinums. I swear to you, I've gotten some hard ones. And then last for today, Lego Lord of the Rings. Again, Lego games is all about collectibles. That's what holds a lot of people back. They don't want to grind. Delved too greedily. I thought that was a good name for a trophy. It's only a bronze trophy, which is kind of a stick in the eye, because it's collect 10 billion studs. Now, you can use the stud multipliers when you get enough to unlock them, which by then it's kind of like you've already been playing probably through the entire game before you even unlock a single stud multiplier. It's just funny because once you have them all, this isn't that hard, but getting the stud multipliers takes time. So anyway, guys, that's my next 10 platinums. So we're halfway there. I've shown you my first 20 platinums now. If you missed the first video, you can go back and watch my first 10 platinums. This was my 10 through 20 list. And like I said, I have achieved 40 platinums, so we're going to get there. And hopefully you guys can stick around and see my next videos to find out what I'm so proud about with my 40th platinum. So anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.